Good afternoon, Professor. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shuraima Hachi. I am from Harare, Zimbabwe. I am the founder and CEO of Savanna Natural Foods, a company that I formed 50 years ago. I formed this company because of my passion for health. I focus mainly on traditional foods because I have been touched by the crisis, the health crisis, not only in Zimbabwe, but worldwide. I have my response to this crisis has been to ensure that traditional foods are available to as many people as possible. I have ensured that the traditional foods, which include what we call Gio in Shona, which is Rapoko, there's millet, there's sorghum, there's brown rice, our traditional brown rice. All these foods, I have ensured that they are accessible to people, not only in Zimbabwe, but I've also been able to supply outside Zimbabwe, South Africa, UK, America. We've got foods like what you see on the screen. It's we've got cowpeas, and we've got what is called pizza, which is the product from cowpeas. We've got Shiora Poko, that's on the slide there. We've got our traditional teas, which is Zumbani tea and Moringa tea. These are traditional teas. All these foods are traditionally grown, and they don't have additives. We don't put any additives, preservatives, or coloring, and they are gluten-free. These foods can grow easily in our country. It doesn't matter the climate conditions of the country, because it's mostly dry, and we do have droughts sometimes. But you find that our traditional grains grow in our country because they are indigenous, and they've adapted to our climate. You don't need fertilizers. It's enough to just put our compost and then they grow. It's possible to harvest even in a drought season. People do harvest when they grow traditional foods. And these traditional foods are very nutritious. Our grandmothers, grandfathers used to eat these traditional foods. And I've discovered that there was no cancer, the non-communicable diseases were not there 100 years ago. But now we get so many people with those diseases, especially cancer, diabetes, especially in young people, because they eat a lot of junk food. I have written a book, which you see on the slide there. The book, I decided to write that book because I see that many people don't know how to cook the foods. They want to be health conscious, but they don't know how to cook the foods. So in the book that I have written, I have decided that I write the recipes of how people can cook the traditional foods. I also do workshops where I show people how to cook the traditional foods, that they get to taste, and we are how they can be creative as well. I teach them how they can be creative with our traditional foods, and also I talk about meal planning in the workshops, so that people know exactly what they can eat on one particular day, the following day, throughout the week. they should be able to plan and work out the different meals that they can have throughout the week and even throughout the month. So the workshops help in making people conscious of how creative they can be with the traditional foods, and also that is in the book as well. I'm also in the process of starting a school of culinary arts. I think I've thought about this because it would be good for especially the young generation to know and appreciate how to cook the foods, and also how to prepare the grains themselves, because we process the grains and then we make a meal, the dry meal, which we then prepare, because we package dry foods that we put into supermarkets. So the school will be mainly to ensure that the young generation, or even mothers or fathers even, know how to prepare the grains themselves, and then they go on to prepare the meals. So the workshops and the school will work hand in hand to ensure that people families know how to prepare the traditional foods. Because unfortunately, another crisis that we have at the moment is that people no longer remember how to prepare traditional foods. The grandmothers and who used to prepare the foods, most of them are no longer there. But the fortunate part is that we still have the information which has been documented. We have the information of how to prepare the foods. I've also started cooking lessons besides the school. There are some short lessons that people can do, those who don't have time to actually attend the school. They can come for short cooking lessons. I've started as well for people who just want to have takeaways or come and sit in to eat traditional foods. I started something like a restaurant where I cook the food. I've got employees who help me cook the foods. People come for takeaways, and then they sample the takeaways, and they appreciate the taste of the traditional foods, because some of them don't know how to cook them in their homes. So I started this traditional meals takeaway and sit-in, which you can see on the slide there, so that people have an appreciation of how the traditional meals taste. They can be able to actually come and buy the foods and enjoy them at home, or they can sit in. The challenges that I faced in the business are that lack of capital, because I've been wanting to expand, like all these ideas of setting up a school. I actually need capital to get this up and running. I've been given a permit by our city council, but I need to the building that I have, I need to renovate it so that it's a proper school. I am doing online lessons, but when the lockdown is over, it would be better to have face-to-face lessons, because it's much easier for someone to follow when you are actually teaching them face-to-face. So that is one challenge that I've faced in my business, lack of capital, and also marketing. It has been a challenge. I do have customers, long-time customers who come to buy products, but marketing has been a challenge, and also the lockdown as well. It has affected my business. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. That actually made me quite hungry. Do we have any questions or comments on that one? And Ajira can take over and introduce our next speaker, who is Tsungai. Any questions? But I like the fact that it's all part of the integration, right? So there are people who are very successful at selling dry foods, but now you're taking those dry foods and then showing people how to actually make them. Because one of the biggest problems is the lack of recipes, why people don't take up indigenous foods. My grandmother just used to boil the stuff. And so, it wasn't attractive. And the thing about food is always to make it attractive. So it's really, really good that you are going, down that route. So thank you very much. Ajira, over to you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Shivai. Very interesting talk. And I think there's a lot to learn from all these entrepreneurs that are speaking, because a lot of these models are replicable, so it can be done in South Africa as well. We have so many different traditional foods that someone can really capture and grow into a brand. So it's good lessons really for everyone who's listening, and there might be some copy and paste that you can do that would then benefit everyone else. And our next
There's
speaker
a question from Khaladi, I think, or a comment.
Oh, Khaladi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajira. Hi, Shivai. I love the work that you do. I'm an entrepreneur myself. In the chat, I would just add my website. Just see what I did with Zumbani. You call it Zumbani, I call it Lipia Javanica. I have 6 indigenous teas in the retail stores in South Africa, and also the grains and legumes. We are perfectly in the same business as well, and I have a cookbook too. So it would be nice to get your contacts and chat more. Thank you.
I'm going to put thank you very much. I'm going to put my contacts in the chat box.
That's women for you. Collaboration. Hey, it's starting already. That is really, really good. So we're already finding synergies and collaborating. The men must watch. We're going very far. Yeah. So next speaker is Tsungai, and you can just see the smile. I think we're going to have a very nice talk. Tsungai, over to you.